You will see the 4 individual headlights, fog lights down at the bottom, yellow or amber-ish, aftermarket. These headlights are also aftermarket. These headlights are LEDs. This originally came with HIDs from the factory because this is a GS 430. They generally came with HIDs instead of halogens that were common in 2004 in the late 99s to the 2000s, as Juvenile once said. Checking the body lines, you have a character mark going right up here. Up front, you have the grille that was actually repainted. This logo was actually chrome when I got the vehicle. I painted it gold because I did like the gold color and how it contrasted with the white. Moving along to the side, we have the side markers. This has also been upgraded. The side marker is LED, purchased straight off of eBay. To the wheels, 235s. These have the Indy 500s on them. They're pretty good as far as traction is concerned, and they're pretty, what's the word? They are pretty predictable when you're romping on the car, on the vehicle. Side mirrors, pretty basic, no LED inserts or anything like that. Keep in mind this is, again, a 2004. On the side, you have this chrome character mark that goes all the way down the side from the front fender to the rear, or the C-pillar. In my opinion, this is a pretty handsome car. Again, we have another character line along this rear wheel. Bringing it on to the rear. This vehicle is equipped with the spoiler, with the third brake light, flashers, lots of running lights on this vehicle. If you run into the back of it, it's because you wanted to. Down to the bottom, we have that chrome character marker again. Then we have the dual tailpipes, which sounds pretty good on this vehicle. This one is particularly different because I did gut the cats and I did cut off the resonators and the mufflers. And I have headers to be installed pretty soon. Checking the emblems, GS 430, Lexus, vanity plate, as all of them should have. Now this vehicle did come with incandescent lights. In my particular example, I did upgrade to LEDs in the rear and the front. There are no halogens on this vehicle at all. Moving to the other side, it's just a reflection of the first. It's a pretty handsome vehicle. And of course, what would an older JDM vehicle be without bumper ties? Moving on to the inside of the vehicle. As you may be able to tell from this onset, just looking from the door, you can tell that these seats are upgraded. These are Braun racing seats I installed maybe about 6 months ago. I also had the woven chain racing steering wheel. Starting over here at the window and the door. You have nice leather inserts, wood grain. We'll talk about the speaker system in a second, but this is the Mark Levinson. These are 6.5s in the front. The map pocket is not big, but most people don't put much in there anyway. Just a quick little look-see around. This interior has withstood the test of time, for sure. RPM gauge. This always stays in the middle, which is great. Gas is on empty because I went to go get gas a second ago and I forgot my wallet. So, anyways, in case my wife sees this, she's like, "You went to go get gas and you never got any?" Yeah. So that's the upgraded steering wheel. It came with the wood grain steering wheel that was wood at the top. I think it was wood on these sides too. This one has a flat bottom. This is not push to start. You will need your key to open this vehicle or start the vehicle. Moving on to the center dash. Let me turn this light off for you. We are looking at 2004 or 1999. So this isn't the best, but it is touchscreen. Do I touch it? Never. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. That's the road I live on. You got the temperature gauge, climate, the map, which we're on right now. Destination. Don't mess around with that because everything in here is about 20 years old. So menu, you can control the sound, mark points, appearances, different setups, controls and settings. Display. Audio. This is generally for CDs and stuff like that, but you can control the bass, the mid, and the treble and control it from front to rear. Everything on here, I think everything that you can control on the screen, you can control through these buttons along the top and bottom. Moving down to the gear selector. This is an automatic, as you can tell. I generally drive this thing in manual mode. I know that's not ideal for most automatics, but that's what I like because my wife said, hey, get a car we both can drive, and that's what I did. Here, heated seats. These used to light up. Let's see if they do now. Nope. Nope. All right, so these used to light up. They don't light up anymore. This is just basically for the power control. You can put it in snow mode. You can put it in the ECT mode or the power mode. I always leave it in power mode because I like to drive enthusiastically. This is for the heated seats, but these are Brougham seats. These are aftermarket and they are not heated. So those buttons don't actually do anything. VSC control off. As you can tell from the very beginning, I know some of y'all are like having a heart attack, but my VSC is already off because my check engine light is on because I upgraded some stuff to the exhaust on the vehicle. Turning this light on so y'all can actually see. I do have that upgraded LED map light down at the bottom. Glove box is nice. Belt line, I got a whole bunch of crap in there. The dash is it's a vinyl. It's a nice vinyl though. Upgraded speaker in the front. That is a 2-inch focal, which brings me to the actual audio system of this vehicle. I did upgrade. So this thing came with the Mark Levinson. There it is right there, the Mark Levinson sound system. So it had a 10-inch speaker in the rear. It had 6.5 up here in the front. And that will take me to the back. I would get in, but I got car seats everywhere. So it's pretty much a mimic of the front. Nice headliner. Sunroof, if I forgot to mention that. These back here were originally 4-inch speakers, but you can cut them out. You can cut the 4-inch speakers out to add 6.5. So that's what I did. I got 6.5 put back here. So I got 6.5 going on both rears. On the doors, we have an ashtray. Auto, up and down, just like the front. Nice chrome handle, which they all work now, but they did not when I first got the vehicle. Here we are with the wood. Again, leather inserts. Black floor mats, upgraded because I did not like the tan ones since they didn't match perfectly anyway. Center console, we have no type of power supply back here. But keep in mind, this car was designed back in the late 1990s. But we do have AC vents. These two AC vents do work properly and my kids love it, although they do complain that it's pretty hot back here. But my AC system doesn't work all that great. The power, the outflow isn't all that great compared to newer vehicles. Now looking at this from the rear, again, we see our aftermarket steering wheel, our digital screen, gear shifter, gauge cluster. The gauge cluster is like an off-white. In the beginning, I didn't really like it. I thought it looked kind of cheesy, but it kind of grew on me. And if any of you have children or plan on having children, this is how your car seats will fit if your kids are front facing. It also fits rear facing, but it doesn't leave that much space for you to move around. This center seat, I wouldn't really consider it a seat unless you're a young child. To the rear deck, that is where that 10-inch speaker was when I first got the vehicle, but it was all jacked up because the vehicle was dry rotted, and that dry rot led to me taking the speaker out. Coming in from the rear, again, you see those dual tailpipes, all the lights in the rear that you need. LED license plates, lights, but those are upgraded as well. They were halogen when I first purchased the vehicle. Backing out, we have the OEM Lexus net right here. This kicker 12-inch down-firing speaker was actually an aftermarket upgrade that I put in because I did, as mentioned previously, have to take the 12-inch out. The 10-inch speaker out. It really sucked, but to purchase a stock one or an OEM one was like $400 at the time, and I was not gonna do that. So the trunk itself is decently sized. I wouldn't say it's big because of this right here. This kind of protrudes into the trunk space, and obviously I have a slight suspension upgrade going on right there with the Megan Racing strut tower bar. Again, the trunk isn't all that big, but it's good enough. It's about the size of a Ford Focus. Check over here on this side. This is where the 6-disc CD changer is. And I did go ahead and pick up the OEM Lexus first aid kit because I'm a goofball like that. To the engine, this is a Lexus 3UZ engine. This is rated at around 300 or 305 horsepower and 325 foot-pounds of torque. My particular engine doesn't have any internal upgrades. It does, as you can tell, have this strut bar right here, which did actually increase the handling, in my opinion. Have a bunch of wires running along the sides and stuff like that, but that's only because I went LED. And when I went LED, I threw all these wires all around the place, and I didn't tuck them in. So far, the only thing I've had to do on this engine is replace the valve covers. Those were both leaking. I also replaced the starter. I didn't have to replace the starter, but one of my knock sensors went out. I think this bank side went out, and then I decided to replace the other one. And when they had the valve or the cover taken off, I said, go ahead and replace the starter since it's sitting right there. When I did first get the vehicle, it had around 160,000 miles, so I did replace the alternator as well. But that was from necessity because it went out on me in Chick-fil-A drive-thru. Terrible situation, right? Other than that, this has been a pretty good engine for me so far. If y'all have any questions or comments, just ask, and I'll get back with you as soon as possible.